Okay, so you've been working on area. Today what we're going to do is we're going to look at some area story problems. So like real life application problems, because this is something that could carry forward with you and help you in real life, not just finding the areas of triangles, but why you want to do it. The problems aren't difficult, but there's like this little quirky thing that I want to make sure that you understand. So first of all, we need to talk about converting square feet, square yards, square inches, that sort of thing. So what we need to understand is that 1 square foot is equivalent to 144 square inches. So let's think about this. If this square over here is 1 foot by 1 foot, okay, another way to write 1 foot, or an equivalent, is 12 inches, right? Okay, so now if I look at 1 foot by 1 foot, that is 1 by 1. So 1 times 1 is 1 square foot, right? But if I look at the area of this square in terms of inches, 12 inches times 12 inches is 144 square inches. So you have to be very careful and think about when you're converting, you're not just really multiplying by 12 in order to go to inches, you're going to be multiplying by 144 or dividing, depending if you're going in reverse. So let's think about if I want to convert, let's see, 24 square feet to square inches. Okay, so 24 square feet. So if I have 24 square feet, I have to multiply that by 144 square inches because there are 144 square inches in every 1 square foot, if you want to think about it in terms of unit analysis, right? So this is where like that would cancel out if you want to think about it that way. So we would need to take 24 times 144, and I would have 3,456 square inches. Okay, so now let's think about going from 15 square yards to square feet. All right, so I have 15 square yards. Okay, so now I need to get rid of my square yards, right? Well, if we look up here, 1 square yard is 9 square feet. Okay, so I'm going to have to take, in this case, 15 times 9. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong button. Sorry, guys. 15 times 9 gives me 135 square feet. Okay, now the idea of that conversion works the same as what happened up above in terms of, if this is 1 square yard and 1 square yard, 1 yard by 1 yard, that's 1 square yard. But we also know that 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. So 3 times 3 gives me 9 square feet. Okay, so this is honestly where people make the most mistakes, is the conversion of going from square inches to square feet or feet to inches, whichever. So let's go ahead and look at some problems. It says, how many 2-inch square tiles would be needed to fill a 10-foot by 14-foot room? All right, so there's many different ways to think about this. But first of all, if we have a room that's 10 by 14, we know that's going to be 140 square feet, right? Okay, now, one way to think about this is if I have 1 square foot, so let's say this is 1 square foot, this is 1 foot, so there's 1 square foot. It says how many 2-inch square tiles, meaning I can actually fit 6 tiles all the way across here, right? Because I would have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 inches that way, which means then I can fit, this is horrible, but I can fit 6 tiles going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so really in 1 square foot, I have a total of 36 tiles. So every square foot is going to contain 36 tiles. So I really, in this case, have 140 times, that's my 140 square feet, times 36 tiles. So I can take 140 times 36, and I get 5,040 tiles. Next one says, the front of a garage needs to be painted. The total area, except for the door, will be painted. Okay, so we are not painting this doorway here. The door is 5 feet high and 7 feet wide. So this is 5 by 7. How many square feet of paint will be needed? All right, so we're really just going to have to divide this into 2 different shapes here. So I see this bottom rectangle minus the door, and I see that top triangle. So let's start with the top triangle. So I know my triangle is area equals 1/2 base times height. So we have 1/2. My base here is going to be 12. And the height is just this 4 feet right here. All right, so 1/2 of 12 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. All right, there's my triangle. So now let's take care of the big rectangle, the big front of the garage. That is 8 by 12, which is 96. But I do need to take away the garage door itself, which is 7 by 5. So I do need to take away 35. So I have the triangle, which is 24, plus the big rectangle, which is 96, but I do still have to take away the garage door, which is 35. So 24 plus 96 minus 35 gives me 85 square feet. So 85 square feet of paint will be needed. Okay, so now I'm going to write that up here, 85 square feet, because this is a continuation. So if a can of paint covers 2.5 square meters, oops, I think that's supposed to be feet. Sorry, that should be feet. We're not going to switch back and forth. Square feet. How many cans of paint need to be purchased? All right, so I need to take 85 and divide that by 2.5. Okay, I'm realizing there's an issue with this problem here. So let's change this here to just say 25 square feet. I apologize about that. Okay, so let's try this again. A can of paint covers 25 square feet. How many cans of paint will need to be purchased? So I really need to take 85 and divide that by 25. So if I take 85 divided by 25, I'm going to get 3.4 gallons. Okay, now, if I walk into Lowe's, I can't say I want to buy 3.4 gallons. Now, you could buy like pints and quarts and that kind of stuff, but really it's never worth your money, typically, especially if you're painting rooms. So I would really need to purchase, I would need to round up, because if I only bought 3, I'd be short paint. So I need to purchase 4 gallons. Okay, so a can of paint costs $24.50. How much will it cost to paint the garage? I need 4 gallons, and it's going to cost me $24.50 per gallon. So $24.50 times 4 gallons gives me a total of $98. All right, next problem. Joe needs to replace the carpet in his living room and hallway with laminate flooring. A floor plan is shown below. Okay, so we have our hallway and our living room. It says, what's the total area of floor that needs to be recovered in square feet, and how about in square yards? All right, so we have 2 rectangles really we're going to be working with. So let's start with the hallway. So my hallway is a 10 by 4, which is 40 square feet. The living room, there's my hall. Okay, now my living room is 18 by 12, which is, oops, I mistyped, sorry, which is 216 square feet. All right, so grand total, I have 256 square feet. All right, now, we need to also convert that into square yards. Okay, so let's think about this. 256 square feet. I need to cancel out my square feet. So I know in 1 square yard there are 9 square feet. So I need to take 256 divided by 9, which gives me 28.4 square yards. Okay, so the second part of this problem. Each box of laminate flooring contains 8 square yards of flooring material. How many boxes should he buy? Okay, so we had 28.4 repeating square yards, right? Every single box is going to cover 8 square yards. So if I take and divide my answer by 8, I end up with 3.5 repeating boxes. But again, I can't go into Lowe's and ask for a partial box. So I would really, when I'm talking about buying, I need to purchase 4 boxes. Okay, and in real life, at some point you're probably going to mess one up anyway, so buying more is usually the better option there. Or like something's going to be damaged or just chipped a little bit. Even if you buy boxes of tiles, sometimes what happens is you'll get a broken tile, or like the edge is chipped, or it just looks funny. Every once in a while that happens. All right, then part C says each box of laminate flooring contains 8 square yards of flooring material. Oh, well, it's just the same question again. All right, well, we can ignore that one. Okay, if one box costs $42.60, how much will the flooring cost? Okay, so keep in mind we are purchasing a total of 4 boxes. Okay, so 4 times $42.60. So $42.60 times 4 gives me $170.40. Joe gets a coupon for 20% off. How much would the flooring cost? Okay, so he is originally going to pay $170.40, but because it's 20% off, I'm only having to pay for 80%. So if I can find 80% of that cost, that's what I would end up paying, and it's only going to cost Joe $136.32. All right, so you have a worksheet for homework. Okay, so there's a variety of problems on there. We're going to go over it on Monday. Some of these are a little trickier. Honestly, this is one of the harder parts of area, just because you have to think about so many different scenarios, converting, and that sort of thing. So do your best, and we'll go over it on Monday.